Once upon a time, in the heart of Nigeria's Niger Delta, the city of Warri in 1999 was a powder keg of ethnic tension. For years, disagreements over land, resources, and political power had simmered between the Itsekiri and Ijaw communities. But that year, the simmering pot boiled over into open, violent conflict. Caught in the middle of this storm was a family who belonged to neither side, the Omos. They were Orobo people, living a simple life in a compound owned by an Ijaw man, situated in a predominantly Itsekiri neighborhood. This simple fact of their address would prove to be their undoing. The family was made up of Joseph, the father, his wife, Adaku, their pregnant daughter, Chika, and their two young sons, Tunde and Jide. They were just an ordinary family, dreaming of a better future, completely unaware that their world was about to be shattered. As the violence escalated, the streets of Warri became battlegrounds. Houses burned, chaos reigned, and the air was thick with fear and suspicion. Neighbors turned against neighbors, and the lines between friend and foe blurred into a horrifying mess. One fateful day, the violence arrived at the Omos doorstep. A mob of angry Itsekiri youths, fueled by rumor and rage, descended upon their compound. In their eyes, the Ijaw-owned property was a legitimate target. They didn't stop to ask who lived inside. They didn't care. The attack was swift and brutal. In the ensuing chaos, Joseph, the family's patriarch and protector, was tragically killed. Adaku, in a desperate attempt to shield her children, suffered a severe injury that would cost her a limb. When the attackers finally retreated, leaving a trail of destruction, the family was broken. Their home was violated, their father was gone, and their mother was grievously wounded. But the horror wasn't over. In the confusion and terror, the two young boys, Tunde and Jide, had vanished. Chika, heavily pregnant and traumatized, was left to care for her injured mother, her own future hanging by a thread. The Omo family, once whole and happy, was now a portrait of unimaginable loss and suffering, victims of a war they had no part in. The days that followed the attack were a living nightmare. Adaku, now a widow and an amputee, had to summon a strength she never knew she possessed. Every waking moment was a battle against physical pain, emotional agony, and the crushing weight of grief. The family was displaced, their home destroyed, their sense of security obliterated. Their immediate concern was survival, but a gaping hole remained in their hearts, the unknown fate of Tunde and Jide. They searched frantically, clinging to a desperate hope that the boys were alive, perhaps hiding somewhere, waiting to be found. Months crawled by, each day heavier than the last. The painful truth eventually came to light. The bodies of Tunde and Jide were discovered. They had become two more casualties in a conflict that consumed so many innocent lives. The finality of this news was a blow that nearly broke Adaku's spirit. She had lost her husband and now her two young sons. The family's grief was a vast, silent ocean, deep and overwhelming. They were just one family, but their story mirrored the silent suffering of thousands across Warri, individuals and families torn apart by senseless violence. In the midst of this profound darkness, a tiny flicker of life emerged. Chika gave birth to a healthy baby boy. She named him Joseph JRB in honor of the grandfather he would never meet. The birth of this new life didn't erase the pain, but it brought a fragile, bittersweet joy into their shattered world. Little Joseph JRB became a reason to keep going, a symbol that life, in its own stubborn way, persists. Even in the face of death, he was a promise of a future, a tiny anchor in the storm of their sorrow. Adaku, looking at her grandson, found a new reason to fight, to endure, to rebuild from the ashes. Initially, the government's response to the crisis and the plight of families like the Omos was slow. The wheels of bureaucracy turned sluggishly, seemingly indifferent to the urgent needs of its people, but the scale of the devastation in Warri could not be ignored forever. As stories of the horrific violence and its human cost began to spread, pressure mounted. The story of the Omo family in particular became a powerful symbol of the innocent lives caught in the crossfire. Their tragedy put a human face on the abstract news reports of ethnic clashes. Eventually, the government intervened. They recognized the immense suffering the Omos had endured and provided them with compensation and support. This assistance was a crucial lifeline. It didn't bring back the dead or heal the deepest wounds, but it gave Adaku and Chika the practical means to start rebuilding their lives. It allowed them to find a new home, to secure medical care for Adaku, and to provide for the newborn Joseph JRB. It was a formal acknowledgement of their pain and a small step towards justice and restitution. As the years passed, the raw wounds of the Warri crisis began to scar over, though the memories remained. The story of the Omo family, however, refused to fade away. It was a story of such profound tragedy and incredible resilience that it captured the imagination of a local playwright. The family's journey was adapted into a stage play titled Surviving Warri. The play was a phenomenal success, resonating deeply with audiences across Delta State and beyond. It brought both tears and laughter, reminding people of the horrors of the conflict but also celebrating the unyielding strength of the human spirit. Through the play, the Omos became more than just a family. They became a symbol for the entire region. They represented the thousands of ordinary people whose lives were irrevocably altered by the crisis. Their story sparked conversations that were long overdue. It forced communities to confront the painful past and to think about the path forward. It wasn't just entertainment. It was a catalyst for reflection and dialogue. The play humanized the conflict, moving it from the realm of politics and headlines into the realm of personal, relatable tragedy. The legacy of the Omo family grew far beyond what they could have ever imagined. Young Joseph JRB, growing up in the shadow of his family's history, did not become a victim of it. Instead, he was inspired by it. He heard the stories of his grandfather, his uncles, and the incredible fortitude of his grandmother and mother. He understood the devastating cost of hatred and division. As a young man, he chose a path of peace. He became a passionate advocate for reconciliation, using his own family's narrative to bridge the divides between the Itsekiri, Ijaw, and Orobo communities. The family's story became a cornerstone for peace initiatives and community dialogues. It provided a common ground for people from all sides to stand on, a shared point of grief, from which healing could begin. Their tragedy was transformed into a powerful tool for change. The Omos showed everyone that even from the deepest, darkest pit of despair, hope can emerge. Their resilience became a testament to the fact that forgiveness is possible, that understanding can replace hatred, and that a community can, piece by piece, rebuild itself. The story of the Omo family is a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict, but it is also a profound story of survival, resilience, and the enduring power of hope. It shows that one family's unimaginable loss can become a beacon that guides an entire community toward a future of peace and unity. Their journey from tragedy to inspiration serves as a lasting testament to the strength of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming adversity. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories of resilience and hope.